we are live. All in on high school sports. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm good. Got a couple comments coming in right out of the gate from our great friend and co-host of K&K, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Good evening, all. Welcome to the greatest high school show on earth. And Coach Breslin, our good friend from Ramapo, assistant coach. Good evening and welcome to another great show. Looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you, Kenny K and Coach Breslin.
So what do we got on the agenda tonight?
All right, we got another jam-packed evening. We're going to start the show in a few minutes with Coach Ray Lucas of the Harrison football program, his first year at the helm there at his alma mater. We will be then joined by Coach Baeira. I want to make sure I'm saying his name correctly. I always refer to him as Coach Bear, never have to say the full name. And he will actually be joined by his five senior captains, and I'm just going to name them really quickly for us. Danny Veenstra, Robbie Mandel, Tyler Larson, Joey Hunt, and Justin Martone will be joining us. And then we have a good friend to the All In on High School Sports program, a former athlete at Passaic Valley High School, was a guest on the show as a senior captain his senior year. He will be our Week 5 guest picker. Antonio Bargiel will be joining us to round out tonight's show.
Absolutely excited about Antonio and our guest 5, and I hope Mr. Beelan's paying attention because
we got standings.
We got standings. But let's start the show on a little somber note. Our good friend and unbelievably one of the best coaches New Jersey has ever seen in softball and basketball, Coach H, sadly passed away last night.
Yes, coach at IC, IHA,
Elmwood Park and Saddlebrook.
Yeah, basketball, softball. So we wanted to make sure we, paid our respects. He's not just, a friend of All In. He's a friend of ours. So he will be greatly missed. Many people, an outpouring of, well wishes. For him, missing him already on social media. So we wanted to make sure that we paid our respects as well.
Absolutely, and I'm doing a little tribute to Coach. I got a little IC shirt on. Like you said, not only one of the best coaches in New Jersey, and like you said, just reading some of the posts and reading some stuff from former players of just how much of an impact, not only as a coach, but as a friend and as just a person later on in life for, parents of those players, those girls, whether it was basketball, softball, or whatever. Coach Breslin saying thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Great friend for us. Truly be missed. And, we will, of course, do, we plan on something for him later on.
Of course, yeah.
But we just wanted to pay our respects for Coach tonight. And but knowing Coach, he'd want us to do something he loved, which is high school.
So
sports,
yep,
we're going to do some sport. We're going to do a nice little show. Hey, we will remember Coach throughout the show tonight. Kenny saying thoughts and prayers to Coach H, his family, and friends.
Thank you, everyone. I want to not forget to give another shout out to our interns who have all now officially started. You might have seen a little bigger presence from, we have All In and K&K, but our K&K Twitter, our intern Daniel has really taken to that, tweeting a lot of sports news that's coming out in professional sports right now. Again, our other intern Rachel is really also upping our social media presence. So those posts, we can't take credit for them. Yeah. She is working hard in doing that. And Olivia behind the scenes is doing her senior experience at Bergen Academies, and she's doing a great job for us too. So we really want to thank them. We would be remiss if we did not mention what they are doing
great
for us
job.
behind the scenes. We are truly appreciative, and they are 3 awesome additions to the All-In team, so thank you to them. Another kind of exciting piece of news we have is that we will be partnering with Jersey Sporting News. They are more centrally based, but they're expanding to all parts of New Jersey, all levels, professional, college, and high school. So we are looking to do with them a All-In North Jersey Sports, an all-in Central Jersey,
and a little South,
and a little all-in South. So we will be hopefully expanding and partnering with them, so more to come on that. But we've been working with Greg there. He's been fantastic to work with, and we're really looking forward to it. Exciting stuff. So
all right, let's get to it.
With that said, let's welcome in our first guest. Let me get Coach Lucas in to join us right now. and we'll talk a little Harrison football to start off the evening. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Good. Can you hear us okay?
Oh, I got you perfectly fine.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Allow me to...
I'm so sorry about last week.
Oh my gosh,
No,
no worries.
no worries at all.
Hope everything is okay, and we're so glad that you could make it this week. No worries at all. Let me officially introduce you to our audience. I feel like no introduction is needed, but let me do it. First-year head coach at Harrison, a multi-sport legend from Harrison, Rutgers University standout in football at quarterback at Rutgers, former NFL player for the New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Miami Dolphins. Coach, if I'm getting any of this wrong, please correct me. And
Pretty damn good. I had a cup of coffee in Baltimore, though.
And his team is off to a 1-1 start this season, including an opening night victory over Emerson. So welcome, Coach. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. I much appreciate it.
Yeah, like Jen said, I'll echo that. Thank you. It's our privilege to have you on our show. And I'll start off. Can you tell us a little bit how this all came to be? What made you want to come back home to Harrison and be their head football coach?
Well, it all started when the head coach resigned on July 31st. Now, the first week of August, I'm always at Camp Fatima, which is a handicap camp. It's a one-on-one camp. You go to the campsite, you stay. Me and my doors, we always go volunteer. And the day before I left to go to camp, there was a text message on my phone that said family meeting. So usually when there's a family meeting, it means the chocolate boy wonder messed up, and now the girls are about to kill me, my 3 daughters and my wife. So I'm calling my youngest daughter. I'm like, yo, what's up with this family meeting stuff? I haven't done anything. I stopped drinking 8 months ago. I don't go out. I don't do anything. And she said, Dad, don't worry. Everything's all right. We just need to talk to you. So I'm like, well, talk is one thing. Start yelling, I'm bouncing. I'm leaving. I don't care. I don't want to hear anything. So they sat me down, and they were all looking at each other. So I knew it was very important to them, number one, and number two, that I was going to give my undivided attention. And they said, Dad, the head coach resigned. You need to take over high school. And I just stared at them with a blank look on my face, like, say what? This is this is like you guys jumping on me. This ain't no like family talk. You're telling me basically how to do it. So they laid out all this stuff, my 3 daughters and my wife, and I said, I really had to think about this. Now, I did sign my contract to do Rutgers probably 2 or 3 weeks before that. And I went to work the next day. I'm executive director at Harrison Housing in Harrison, low-income housing. And I'm standing and walking the grounds, and a tenant of mine comes up to me and says, are the rumors true? And I said, uh-oh. So I said to, of course, my tenant, what rumors are you speaking of? So she said that you're going to waste your time and coach kids that nobody wants. Aww. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. And I never curse at my tenants. I try not to, as much as I possibly can. I said, what did you say to me? I said, I was the kid nobody wanted. I left her standing right there, and she kind of backpedaled and said, no, what I'm saying, you already said it too much. Done. You're done, cut off. I went right to the super's office, put my name down, and signed up as the head coach of football. That's how that all started. I mean, then I got the phone calls, can't do Rutgers, which broke me in my soul and my being. I've been doing Rutgers for 13 years straight with Chris and Eric and Shregs and Food, all the guys. And we have a bond, and especially when you come from a college that you love. Like, I bleed Scarlet. I am New Jersey. I am all that stuff. I chose to stay home and make my state great where other kids don't. So I take great pride in that. And the fact that I get to call the games, I'll say to you guys, don't tell the Rutgers guys if they want to bring me back, but I'm not doing it for the money there either. I just love doing games on live air, my alma mater. But Greg, you still have to pay me. I don't want to hear another crap, Greg. I don't want to hear none of you excuses. Bring me back in so many years. I need that dough Ray made. When they told me I couldn't do Rutgers, I cried for a couple of days. I'm not gonna lie. It really broke me inside. But I had already started coaching, and I told my wife, I said, "Listen, I know we're paying 2 tuitions, and the head coaching salary at Harrison is nothing. Obviously, I'm not doing it for the money." I told her, what am I supposed to do? And the girls came and they sat with me and kind of got me through my whole spell of crying episode. And she said, what do you want to do? I said, I'm not leaving these kids. I refused to leave the kids. But that also meant that I couldn't do Rutgers with Chris and Eric and, Food and everybody. That hurt a little bit, but at that time I was already committed 100% to the kids of Harrison High. And when people say that the kids that nobody wants, it's for a reason, but at the same time, it doesn't mean they're bad kids. and they've had, I think, 15 coaches in 11 years.
Wow.
I'm aiming to put a stop to that immediately.
Awesome. I want to get to a couple of comments, Coach, while it's coming in. Kenny Kirkpatrick, welcome Coach Lucas to the show. Dina Bargiel saying, yay, Ray, best of luck this season. Coach John Beelan saying, let's go. Manny DeLima saying, my man Ray, hashtag Blue Tide. Coach Breslin saying, are you, baby? Absolutely.
Yeah, Bress.
And John Beelan saying, my guy Ray, great player, better coach. Those kids will succeed on and off the field.
So nice, so nice.
That is really a compliment. That last one is really is my goal. We're bringing boys into men, and I'm trying to teach life lessons. It's not about W's and L's, even though it is. I'm from Harrison. I'm a winner. I don't like to lose. I mean, if I lose at a pool game, I might have to stay. I mean, that's how passionate I am about winning. But in reality, at the high school level, you're trying to teach these kids life lessons that can carry them through thick and thin all the way through. And they know that no matter when they go or how they go or when they want to come back, that me and my coaching staff will always be there.
That's great, Coach. So nice to hear. So you open up, your first game at home versus Emerson. You've been practicing for weeks, right? You're the new coach with a connection to the program. You have high-level experience. So I was wondering if you could tell us what the atmosphere was like in the locker room for pregame that game.
I don't know, because I was busy throwing up, like I was playing again. So I had to take a little bit of a pause there and go out and get that throw up out of my chest right quick. I'll tell you what, I didn't sleep at all the night before. Now, I will say this, playing in the NFL, you know what your job is. As a quarterback, your job is to know what everybody's doing to make sure we're in the right play and all that other crap, you know what I mean? But as a coach, you have to worry about everything. I wasn't ready for that. And I'm still making my rookie mistakes as a head coach, and I'll admit those mistakes because I'm supposed to make them. How else am I supposed to learn? You know what I mean? But I don't ever want to make a mistake at the expense of my kids, you know what I'm saying, of my team, of my coaching staff, who is, I'm in rookie coach, so I can't put them up against the best in the state because we got great coaches in New Jersey. I mean, they put me in an article with Jake Sawicki. He plays for Middletown, and the guy had his 200 victory, and they put me next to him, my little tiny itty-bitty victory. So I was like, damn, they could have picked a better guy, maybe that lost 4 games in a row or something. Not the guy that just won his 200th victory. What are you trying to do to me? You know what I'm saying? You probably put the expectations too high. But I will say this. It was emotional. It was very emotional.
It's great.
I mean, it's so close to your heart. It's so evident to see. I have to say, Coach, this is off script, sorry. We started communicating via email about coming on to the show, and you did say, I got the game. Can we wait till after the game?
I seriously couldn't talk about anything. But
I love it.
I had reporters call me, hey, who's your defensive man? I said, I don't know. I really, as a head coach, you have to have great coaches around you so that you're guiding the ship, and they're kind of really the gusto behind it, right? And then comes the kids, and just all the way through the finish line. But for me, I have great coaches that are very passionate and that care about our kids. And in the end, that's what we have to give the parents of Harrison High. We have to give those Pop Warner kids wanting to come to the high school and being the future of this development process. And like I said, my coaching staff is, Nick Landy was the state champion here when I was younger. He was kind of the senior when I was a freshman, and they always took care of me and showed me how things were supposed to be done. But, I had Emerson and Matt, and I had Mike Gregg, and these guys have been on the last staff the year before. And I didn't want any turnover. None. Zero. We were starting from ground level, nothing. I don't want to hear about last year. I don't care what they did last year. We're going about business in a new way. And the way I was taught, I had some really, really good coaches when I was younger in Pop Warner that instilled the Harrison is tough. You see us wearing the hit hats every Friday and Saturday games that we play. It's not just a metaphor. It's the way I was raised. You know what I mean? Even if you came to Harrison and you rarely won, but at the same time, you left with ice bags everywhere because you
were getting hit
anywhere you were. That's how we play. And I'm trying to bring that back, but in the positive way now that people are playing the game of football. We're looking out for our kids. We don't want them to get hurt. You know what I mean? That's a big stay up at late night for Ray Lucas is, God, please just get my kids off the same they walked on. And I didn't realize how much oh my God, emotion and second guessing yourself and all that. So I have a lot more respect for coaches than I did before. This is a full-time job on top of my full-time job.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Way, you know what I'm saying? But that's the way it's supposed to be. And any coach that doesn't look at it that way, is selling his kids short, I feel. I mean, again, I'm a rookie coach, so I could be whistling Dixie. I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Coach, I know how you feel because, like you said, I was an assistant coach. I was an offensive coordinator for 7 years, and that's just an offensive coordinator, and I felt like it was a full-time job. A head coach, it's times 3, you know, special teams, you know, defense, what's going on in the building, who's getting in trouble, who's not. Like, I can't even imagine that. So when you say full-time job, I mean, it's legit. That's a full-time job. I mean, hands down. Go ahead, Jen.
No, Coach, can you highlight some of the players on your squad this year that'll have pivotal roles for you?
Well, I mean, got to start with the quarterback right away. I mean, Jake Moranin is a guy who has a very high football IQ, but he hasn't had me. So that kind of brings his level down a little bit because I am a lunatic, and I'm not afraid to say that I am. But I want what's best for my players, but I want them to see the game through my eyes first, especially as a quarterback position. And so me explaining situational football to him, and we like the last week, man, we got our asses handed to us. I mean, there's no other way for me to put it. We had guys breaking off routes, and then that night I didn't sleep either. And like I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. And I told my kids, like Parcells used to say to me, "The man in the mirror is the poem." And I told the kids, I want you to read it. And then I thought about it, I'm like, we play football, dude. Like a poem to these Hudson County kids? What are you, insane? But when Parcells asked us to read it, it had such an impact on me that, you know, you as a man, when you get done playing, right, you're supposed to put 100%. And if anybody says their kid's got 120%, they're lying to you because you only have 100% of yourself to give. So for me, the mirror was the test. So when I got home, after a game that I played in, the first thing I would do was drop my stuff and go right to the bathroom and stand in front of the mirror. Now, it's kind of a test of wills with your inner self where if you look straight at the mirror and you don't turn away, then you did your job. But if you do that, like, oh, man, like you think about something, turn away, then you left something out there. Well, either way, it's not a bad thing. You'll find stuff about yourself, right? What to do better next week and that kind of stuff. So, you know, I tell my kids, the mirror is the test. You don't have to worry about your coaching staff. I want you to worry about yourself. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and know you played a good game, whether we won or lost, that should be good enough for them to make the next step forward.
Nice.
Coach, I got a question. And Coach Siciliano saying you were a great player. Ray Lucas, great player. I got a question. It's kind of what Jen hit on. Obviously, like you said, you're Division I at Rutgers. You played in the pros. How do you take that experience from those levels and you bring it to like a high school field? You know, where you're saying this route's going to work or this concept's going to work, but then you're looking and like, these are 18-year-old kids. Like this, you know, like, you know, that's I know it's hard, right? Like what's
it's damn near impossible if we're going to call it the way it really is. For me, I got the playbook that they ran last year, and I'm looking at it. And it takes me longer to say a play than to actually think about what the hell play I'm calling. It's just run on word. I can't even stand it. So I know we had athletes to run the spread, but at the same time, the playbook was too grandiose, so to speak. You know what I mean? I had to dumb it all the way down. So I went back to the stuff that I learned in college and pros, which is route tree, which tells every individual kid exactly what he's doing, route-wise, blocking-wise. I thought that would be a lot simpler for my guys instead of hearing, you know, the crown goes over the moon and then motion Z-whip, 458, 70. I had no time for it. Plus, I couldn't even say it. So for me, I wanted to tell the kids exactly what they're doing so there was no guessing. When you have guesswork, you have mistakes. When you have mistakes, you have negative plays. When you have negative plays, you have no wins. So I wanted to take that out of the mix right off the bat. Now, will we add to the playbook all the time? Yeah, of course. But at the time, I thought it would be better to start from scratch and create our own offense, not one that's, you know, known, the spread, the wing tee, all that crap. We want our own thing here, and we're always adapting on what the other team does. But there is one thing that I try to tell my players is that in the end, I really don't give a, you know what, of what they're doing. We're going to dictate what we're doing, and they're going to have to adjust to that. But Friday, we did that pretty good. Saturday, not so much. So we're what do they say? A job in progress, so to speak. We're trying to figure out the kinks. So
Coach Breslin saying, agree 100%, less thinking for the kids.
Yep, absolutely.
Less is more. Less is always more.
Coach, we're going to do a little segment with you we like to call Rapid Fire. They're meant to be...
Hit me. I'm ready. Hit me. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Favorite place to eat in Harrison?
Oh, you're trying to get me banned from 5 places. All right, well, to be honest with you, all right, I've been going to this pizzeria, Nino's Pizzeria, okay? It has the best squared slice. I'll put it up against any pizza in the state of New Jersey. I'm straight up telling you. If you never had to come to Nino's, you come to Harrison. It's in the mini mall down by, the Red Bulls. You come up underneath the tunnel before you get on 280. Go to the pizza place. Tell them Ray Lucas sent you. I don't know if you're going to get a break on the bill because I don't pay sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
We're going.
My check. As long as you mention my name, you will get taken care of.
I have a feeling we're going to end there.
We're definitely going to end up there.
Nino's is the best. But don't get nothing else but the square first.
Okay.
That's right up his alley. So that's good.
Okay.
Coach, who was your favorite NFL team growing up?
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, interesting. I don't know.
Well, that's because my father was a Giant season ticket holder, and as you can tell, I don't really go with the norm. So, my dad was a Giant season ticket holder. We used to call the Giant games, and the people that kicked the Giants' ass so much, was the Dallas Cowboys. They were America's team back then. So I was a big Tom Landry fan, Randy White those days. And then as I got older and started playing quarterback, there was only one name you could say in front of me. I had his poster in my wall at Rutgers, Randall Cunningham. He was my idol. He was doing things that most black quarterbacks didn't get to do in the NFL back then. I was a drop back league, and he came in and made it athletic. And that was something that I aspired to do when I got there.
Now, when you start playing professionally, do you still have that, fandom for Dallas or not anymore?
No, I hated them because they didn't come pick me up when I got cut. And then Bill Parcells was there, and he made a comment about Jerry Jones that I can't say on the air because I know I'll curse if I say it. So, no, Dallas Cowboys, I wouldn't wet my rear end if I had no toilet paper. So.
Got it.
Okay, we get a couple of comments. Manny, who's a big Cowboy fan, we them boys. Now they're 2-1. He's all on the Cowboy bandwagon. But no, he's a true Cowboy fan.
Prescott and that offensive line either hurt. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I'm easy on the bandwagon, guys.
I know. No, but he is. My next one is, for football, who was the best player you ever played with, and who's the best player you ever played against?
Damn, dude. Those are loaded questions.
We do a little studying. We do a little prep work here, Coach.
The best person I ever played with, okay? Well, there's two in that kind of subject, right? Because one I got when I was younger, and then one just molded me into the quarterback that I became. Because you guys know, when I first got to the NFL, I was a wide receiver special teams guy. I didn't start playing quarterback till 2 years after I got to the NFL. And it was just by chance that we were playing the Steelers when I was in New England. I had a guy named Cordell Stewart. So Belichick comes to me and says, "You're going in a quarterback. I want you to do everything you did in college." I didn't even know he watched my college tapes, but obviously he did. But Belichick was a man of few words, and most of them probably weren't nice to me in the beginning. So the light bulb went off in my head. I said, wait a second. This is not just to give a good look, but this is an opportunity to show everybody here that I can play this position. I'm not just a wideout special teams kind of guy. And I lit the defenses up. Belichick made them come in that Wednesday. Made them come in on Thursday at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I didn't realize, once you make the defense look bad the next day, you're live, by the way. You're live hitting the quarterback. So the first play I come out running a little sprint pass, and Willie McGinnis comes off the line of scrimmage. I don't even remember hitting the ground. I was in the air for a good 5 minutes, I think. And as soon as my butt hit the ground, I was on my feet. I said, "Oh, is that how this is going to be today?" And then I just started talking the whole practice. And I was in my element. That's my element. So my best player, Marco, was kind of one of those guys that showed me about hard work, the weight room, dedication, what you eat, what you put on the field, right? And then when I got to the NFL, Vinny Testaverde made me into somebody I could possibly only dream of. He taught me everything: study room, film sessions, how you lift, how you eat, what time to wake up, what time to go to bed, how much time you spend on film. He was instrumental in my development as a young quarterback in the NFL. And I call him Pasta, not Testa. Pasta or Testaverde, either one, but not Vinny Testaverde.
All right, Coach. My next one is an easy one. Ready? Your preference: Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas?
Come on, man. See,
Oh, you got some Jordans
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Nice, yeah.
You know how hard it is to do Rutgers games in Adidas equipment when you don't have anything in your closet that says Adidas on it? Pretty difficult. I'm straight Jordan, Nike. That's me. Been
Nice.
always that way since I was in the NFL. And when I was at Rutgers, even me and Marco started the trend of not wearing Converse. I wonder why.
I'm going to go off script for my last one because our good friend Coach Breslin, assistant coach at Ramapo, he was
Yep.
coaching at Becton when you were playing, and he said to me, "You got to get this in." He said that you made one of the most top 5 or top 3 most ridiculous plays ever. He said that it was Becton Harrison. You were punting, and I don't know if he said it was a bad snap or something, and you're rolling left. And you kick the ball with your left foot, and it was like a 40 or 60-yard punt. So I don't know if you remember that, but Coach Breslin
I
said
do.
coaching against that was just out of this world.
I don't remember much. I gotta be honest with you. All the concussions I've had, I'm freaking colorblind. I'm surprised I remember that play, but that's not one you forget. Kicking the ball lefty. But I was going that way, so my momentum was carrying me that way. That's why I went 40 yards. But I didn't think it was going to go 3 yards, to be totally honest. I just knew if I didn't get this ball off, it was going to be Mr. Manning, Mr. Harvin, Mr. Borges on the sideline ready to cut my head off. So I just got it out of there. And then Mr. Manning said to me, okay.
So there you go, Coach Breslin.
Yeah, nice. Coach, our last question in rapid fire is your Super Bowl champion prediction.
Ooh, man. It's hard to go against the GOAT himself, but I will say this. I do have some sleeper teams. Arizona Cardinals are somebody you need to keep your eye on. All right, that Kyle Murray offense is flowing at a level I didn't think. Now, usually what happens is when you get a guy like Kyle Murray to come into the NFL, after a year, everybody's watching tape. They're going to squash that offense. They're never really successful in year 2, not to where they were in the first year. And this kid just comes out and lights the scoreboard up. And you can never stop on a play with Kyle Murray because he will kill you, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, 1-2. What the hell is going on in Kansas City? But don't count them out. Who else is out there that I think is on the radar? Don't talk about any New York teams. Both suck. Okay? There you go. But they're both new head coaches. We got the right head coach finally at the Jets for the first time. We got the right GM. So I'm excited about that. Giants, can't talk about it because I don't really want to. I don't Giant fans trying to fight me on the street because you'll lose. But no, I'm just kidding. I like the Arizona Cardinals and the AFC team. I don't really. You know what? Can't count Green Bay out. Aaron Rodgers MVP from a year ago. They got a bunch of weapons we watched last night that first game was like how do I say? An illusion. And then they come back and he's Aaron Rodgers again. I mean, when you got a running back like they do, 2 wide receivers and great defense, they're going to be tough to beat.
Okay.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. I'm sorry, everybody, about last Tuesday. I had a little bit of a family thing.
No.
Don't
Anytime,
worry,
Coach,
don't
you're
worry.
welcome anytime. We'll definitely
Absolutely.
catch up with
Anytime
you.
you guys need me, let me know.
Maybe
We
some
will.
of the kids. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be fantastic.
Awesome.
I don't like talking about myself. I like talking about my kids. You guys have a good day.
There you go.
Too.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so much,
Coach.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, there he is, the one and only Coach Lucas.
Yep, that was great. Very nice.
Great interview.
Yeah.
Showed the love of coaching.
Oh,
like he says, it's never about the money.
Right.
It's about the love, and for the kids and what he's building in Harrison.
And,
And the best, I'm sorry, but the best part is where he said the 15 coaches in 11 years that he wants to put a stop to.
Yeah.
That. That's awesome. That's what they need.
Well, again, it is his love of the program, the town, the kids is so evident in everything that he says, and he hits the nail on the head with. It's more than, of course, everybody. Listen, we have a very competitive man.
Right.
Of course he wants to win, but he wants to give those kids the life, prepare them for life beyond high school football, which he will definitely do. We have our next guests ready to go. I'm going to let them all in. I'm just making sure 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to let anybody in who was not part of the Ramsey crew here we have coming in. So let me get everybody in. Hi guys, welcome. Making sure everybody is in and can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5, 6.
6. We all there? Do we have Coach in? Oh, I accidentally let in Antonio a little early. Sorry, Antonio. I was looking at those names too. I'm gonna have to put you back in the waiting room. We'll see you in a little bit. Make sure I don't.
We're just waiting on Coach.
Yep. Let's see.
There's Coach.
There's Coach. All right. Awesome. Hi guys. Everybody can hear me? Okay.
A little bit.
Awesome. All right. I would like to welcome to our panel. We have Coach Baeira from Ramsey. He is in his second year head coach at Ramsey. Last year they were 6-1. This year they're off to a 4-0 start, and he is joined by his senior captains. I want to make sure I get everybody's name correct. Danny Veenstra, Robbie Mandel, Tyler Larson, Joey Hunt, and Justin Martone. So welcome, guys. Pleasure to have you guys on.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having us.
Coach, am I saying I called you Coach Baeira. I'm always referring to you as Coach Baeira. Can you say your last name for me so I get it correct?
Baeira.
Baeira. All right.
There you
Thank you. I didn't want to mess it up.
I go the easy way, Coach. I say Coach Baeira. But, Coach, thank you.
That's 2 years in a row. You guys are 0 for 2. No,
She's 0 for 2, Coach.
I can't promise next time either.
Coach, I want to personally thank you because you're always willing to, and we know you got a busy, you got the bulk of your schedule coming up, Monday nights and Tuesday nights, obviously film nights and stuff. So I want to thank you. We want to thank you for always coming on and being so grateful for the show. But Coach, I'll start with you. Since you've been here, 4-0 this year, a combination of 10-1 the past 2 years. What do you attribute the great start to?
That's a good question. I think the kids. I mean, the kids are they're such a great group of guys. I mean, even last year, that senior group, they showed the kids younger than them last year how to win. Really, last year I was lucky to the group that we had last year. They always won. Through rec. So I always heard that, and it was just a solid group. It's a shame that they had to deal with the COVID situation, not getting a chance to play in the playoffs. And, I think that motivated the younger guys to this is their senior year now and junior year. And, hey, hopefully this happens once every 100 years. Unfortunately, last year's senior group was the one, the unlucky group to have their playoff hopes shattered by that. But I think this senior group saw that, and they're kind of attributing that to that group. Those two groups were pretty tight, so I know they're really tight. So this year it's kind of like they're playing for them, trying to finish what those guys started last year.
Very nice. Guys, I have a question for you guys. I have 3 different questions I'll kind of throw at a group of you guys together. So Danny and Joey, this first one is for you. I was wondering if you could describe to our audience, as Kurt said, in these past 2 seasons, you're off to a 10-1 start, have a strong history, tradition in the program. So what does it take to be a player in the football, in the Ramsey football program? Danny, we'll start with you, and then Joey, you can add on if you don't mind.
Well, so as a player, it takes good leadership and good teamwork to work together as a team and always to fit in with each other. I mean, most of us we're just like a family out here, so we all just fit in with each other. We all feel each other, and we always just play well with each other.
Nice. How about you, Joey? What would you say?
To go off what Danny was saying, it's a lot of dedication. Everyone's got each other's back. Basically, we're just a family.
Very nice. And Robbie and Justin, my next question is for you guys. I want you to think about Coach Baeira and the program he's building and his style of coaching, and pick 3 words that would describe Coach Baeira.
First, I would say passionate. He's got a lot of passion towards football. There's no one that loves their job more than. Second, I'll go with insane. He's a little crazy, but again, his insanity is all out of passion. And then Justin, you go to the third one.
My last one would probably be love. Coach came in here and he's really made a bond with all his players, and he's made sure to always have our back. Yeah.
That's awesome. So nice. And Tyler, my last question is for you of this round here. What are your team goals for this season?
Our team goals obviously is to win, but besides that, would definitely be for us to have a strong senior year, almost like a last hurrah, and definitely to help make the program where we want it to be, which is to put Ramsey football back on the map, really.
Nice, very nice.
All right, I'm gonna start with Danny, and I'm gonna go with the skill position kids here. I'm gonna go Danny, Justin, and Joey. So Danny, I'll go to you first. 35, 57, 28, 41. You guys put up a lot of points. Two-part question. How does it feel for you to lead the offense by being the quarterback? And two, how confident do you feel where, hey, if you guys have to score 41 this week to win the game, you got to put up 41?
Well, I have a great supporting cast behind me, with especially with our line, with Robbie and Tyler leading with our linemen, then Justin and Joey playing receiver and slot. Then our running back Joey List is all great. Then we can always put up 41. Just how our offense works well together, and just how our week of practice usually comes out. Like if we have a great week of practice, more points we put up. Then if we have like a slump week of practice, I feel like we play worse in games. But
I'll go to Justin next.
Yeah, to go off what Danny said, it really all starts with our week of practice. Every week that we've had a great week of practice, our offense is really firing on all cylinders. So it really starts with that.
All right, and Joey.
Just basically going to reiterate what they said. Starts with practice. Also, I don't know, just get your sleep in too, because if you're not focused during that practice, not going to have a good day.
All right, I'm going to come back now to Tyler and Robbie, because I know Danny and the skill kids get all the love with the points and stuff, but we all know where that game's won, and I know Coach is going to agree with it. It's up front. It's in the trenches. That's where those footballs won and lost. So Tyler and Robbie, I'll start with Tyler first. What is your mindset offensively and defensively up front?
Well, for offensively, it would be just to really do my job and help the backs get what they need to do. So, really just to help out the backs, not necessarily play my own game, but play for them and play for the rest of the team.
Robbie? Oh, that was I'm sorry. Tyler.
Yeah, my mindset is to just beat the guy in front of me. And again, what Tyler said, do your job. We got a great O-line. The kid next to me is 6'7", 270, so that always helps. Logan Bond. He's a beast. We got a great O-line, and we got great skills, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Coach, I was wondering if you could, in addition to your 5 captains here, of course, highlight some of the kids on your team that will be playing this season.
Listen, we have a great senior class. We have about 20 of them. And some of the new faces this year, we have a player, his name is Lucas Santilio. He's a senior, never played football. And he's more of a basketball player. So I watched him play basketball last year, and the kid was just, he's put together, he's fast, he's athletic. And then I heard he was coming out for football this year, and I said, absolutely, we'd love to have you. He bought his own helmet. I mean, he's ready to go. He's committed from day one. And he's having a great year, for a kid who never played football before. He's a middle linebacker, or he's a fullback for us. Again, he's just having a tremendous season. But it's actually fun because, you try to teach every rule, but, there's just so many different things that, you kind of just let the kid play. We punted the ball one time. And actually, no, the other team punted the ball, and instead of everyone jumped poison, I don't think you're going to say what that meant. He dove on the ball as he was rolling, and that's a big no-no when you punt the ball when you're returning. So, I mean, that's probably our fault for not telling him the rules. But he's an aggressive kid, and it was kind of we kind of laughed about it. Thank God we recovered. He recovered it. He's having a great year. Like some young guys are really stepping up. We have Logan Bond on the line. He's a sophomore. We have Luca Gemma. He's also a sophomore. Just have a great group of kids, and really looking forward to every week. With the game Thursday night at Ridgefield Park, and looking forward to it. So.
Nice.
Coach, I'll come back with you, and just like your friend Coach Catrona, we had him on 2 weeks ago, and his message was, I want to win now. I don't want to wait 4 years down the road in a second class and start winning. And I think, you went in, you had that same mentality. And I think that's what you have shown with the Ramsey program. And like we said, 10-1, that doesn't lie. So it's a win now mentality. So my question for you, and I know it's looking ahead a little bit and you probably don't want to talk about it, but we have to ask you a little tough question here. You're currently right now sitting second in the North Group 2 bracket. Like, what's your expectations for that bracket? And again, I know you got a big one on Thursday. You got Richfield Park, but just for the bracket at whole, like, hey, are you guys a contender in there for when you guys get to the playoffs this season?
I mean, I try to tell these kids, not to look at all that stuff, and you constantly see it on Twitter and social media, and we just kind of try to worry about us every week, and how do we get better? So I mean, in that point of view, I mean that's what really it's about. It's about us. It's about us getting better every week. Whoever we play, whoever we're scheduled to play, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, we'll be ready, and that's the biggest thing, is worrying about us and what we do and what we need to do to get better. And we've had a pretty good week of practice this past week. We were in a pretty wild game last Friday, so I wasn't happy about it, but hopefully the kids weren't happy about it, and it's showing in practice this week, kind of a wake-up call. Because in a split second, those rankings could mean nothing. You can go from, ranked 3, 2, 1, whatever, all the way down 8, 9 in a matter of seconds. So, we just try to kind of ignore that stuff, and I kind of remind that to them every day.
Boys, I have a final question for you guys. Some of you are multiple sport athletes, and, speaking of Twitter, Coach, I was looking at your Twitter pages today and noticing, your next step of, like, collegiately, and I noticed a lot of you guys are starting your official visits and everything. So I was wondering if, I'll just kind of go through if you're looking to play, at the next level, and give us a little, idea of, like, where you're looking and what you're hoping to do. So I'm just going to kind of go around the screen there. Robbie, that's how you appear on my screen. You want to start us off? What's your college recruiting experience been so far?
I'm looking at playing at the next level. I've received a good amount of fantastic opportunities to play, and we're just right now. I'm all in on this season.
Nice, very nice. How about you, Tyler?
Well, right now I'm really focusing on this season right now, but from the recruiting standpoint, a lot of the schools I've been talking to fall into like the D3 NESCAC area.
Oh, nice. Justin?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into playing at the next level too. Mostly D3 schools, but just focused on this season for the most part.
And Joseph?
Me as well. I'm looking to play at the next level. Talking to a few D3 schools as well, but main focus is really being the best team we can right now.
And Danny, how about you?
Yeah, focusing on this season first, but I'm looking to play at like a Division III school in the future.
Great, good, very nice.
Hey, these guys must have gotten together, and question.
You know what? It's great.
They copy me, Coach. I got the best answers.
Robbie set the tone exactly. You know what? It's nice. It's nice to see that they want to not look ahead. It's good. It's a lot to juggle. When you're a senior in high school, you're playing and getting recruited, and you want to stay focused. So that's commendable to all of them. Coach, I have a feeling you have something to do with helping them get focused. So very nice. All right, are we heading for a little rapid fire?
Coach knows this, but Coach is going to be, he's part, because this is a little different, so he's going to be part of this.
I hope, Coach, we're going to apologize if there's any repeat questions, but I think we tried to vary them up here. All right, guys, again, we're just going to go in the order again on my screen. Robbie, Tyler, Justin, Joey, Danny, and then Coach you'll end for us. All right,
guys, so real quick, this pizza place in Ramsey, Coach, what's the correct name of it? Kinchley's? How do you say that?
Kinchley's, yes.
Kinchley's. All right. So my first question, is it Kinchley's or another? Would you take Kinchley's or other if I said to you, best pizza place in Ramsey?
You asking me?
I'm asking, no.
Robbie's first. Robbie, Tyler, Justin, Joey, Danny, and then Coach. Go ahead, Robbie.
Depends. Kinchley slices are a little small, so you need a few pies if you're feeding me. But I love King's Pizza. King's Pizza, or right next to my house, my favorite pizza in Ramsey.
Okay.
Nice. Tyler?
Kinchley's is definitely the best, but like Robbie said, as an O lineman, definitely gonna need a few pies, a lot of slices. But I'd actually go with Sal's. It's right in town. It's great.
Nice. Justin?
I'm gonna get clowned for this one, but I've never had Kinchley, so I'm gonna have to go with Franco's. You know, I've been going there since I was young, so.
Justin's never been. He's off the team. That's it.
Joey, how about you?
I'm not a huge fan of Kinchley's. I'm gonna go with Robbie on this one. King's barbecue chicken slice. It's a must-have.
Nice, nice. And Danny?
I would say Kinchley's is my favorite.
And Coach?
Listen, I like Kinchley's. That's the only place I know in Ramsey, really. But there's nothing like a Park Tavern bar, bar pie. I know I'm way down, but there's nothing like a Park Tavern bar pie. So
there you go.
Nice. All right, guys. My question for you is: any pregame like superstitions or rituals or traditions that like you have to do before a game? We'll go in the same order. I'm sorry, Robbie. You're going to start us off on every one.
I really don't have any. I'm trying to think. Maybe my music. I keep the same playlist on, but I'm not very superstitious.
All right, nice. Tyler?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's my superstition, but every game day, my mom will make me the same sandwich, and she gets the same bread, same meat every game day.
Nice. Justin?
I've worn like the same brand of cleats for the past like 7 years, so I guess that's mine.
Nice. And Joey?
I got kind of a weird one. I had to put my belt in for the loop from the left side.
That's what we're looking for. Nice. And Danny?
Before every game, I get Wendy's.
Awesome. And Coach, how about you?
I wear the same hoodie and pants for the last 12 years, and I don't wash them until we lose. And we lose. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but
exactly, yeah.
Awesome.
By the way, Coach, Preston Lawler saying PT, so you got the PT comments coming in when you mentioned PT. Coach, Mr. John Beelan saying Ramsey Tap Room is pretty solid, so he's throwing out some Ramsey spots for us too. All right, so I want to get back to the one of the guys said before, Coach is a little insane, right? not in a bad way, in a great way. So in a good way. So, real quick. We want some kind of imitation of Coach Baeira, whether it's something he says, a saying, a phrase. So real quick, in a fun matter, give us a little impersonation of Coach Baeira. Go ahead, Jen. How you want to start us off?
Robbie, you're up first.
I don't have an imitation, but I have like a quick story. There was one time last year where one person stepped with the wrong foot, and he said he was up till 3 a.m. watching a video of the play, and he couldn't sleep that night because of it, and it needed to be fixed ASAP. It was about a 2-second fix. But yeah, that's it.
Tyler?
Definitely when he is screaming at us for getting cramps during games, when he's telling us to drink Pedialyte. And I'm a firm believer that we deserve a sponsor from them. Coach Baeira loves the Pedialyte. It gets us through every game.
That's awesome. Justin?
Probably just, this one's kind of new, just screaming at us to get to the ball. That's one that we've really got to work on. So I don't really have an imitation, but yeah.
How about you, Joey?
I guess one game I ran the wrong route, and he came running on the field, show me this sign, and just kept repeating it until I told him what it meant.
And Danny?
To add on what Tyler said, usually before every game, he texts us Pedialyte in all caps, in like our football group chat.
Oh, that's good.
And Coach, what about you? What's your, would you say, your go-to saying so far this year, or in your coaching career?
Well, that narrowed us down, but I definitely think it's to drink Pedialyte for sure. It's either that or the Pam for the the grass game. So I got 2 bottles of Pam in the equipment bag ready to go. So I'm a big believer in Pam. Pam on the cleats.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff. All right. My question for you guys is your best Ramsey football memory to date. Robbie, you want to start us again?
Yeah, mine would definitely be last year. So our sophomore year, we lost to Mawa. I think it was 52-6, and Bear would tell us every day that score at practice. And we went out last year and beat them 35-7. And it was the first game that we had where we really had a great student section because of COVID, and it was a great night, great feeling.
Awesome. Tyler?
I'd definitely say it was our second game of the season this year. Running out on our first home game, where it was also like our town's Ramsey Day, so the entire town was there. And due to the COVID year last year, it was the first time we actually got to see our home crowd in almost 2 years. So that was definitely one of my favorite memories.
Very nice. Justin?
I would say our Verona game last year. I feel like that game really brought our program with Coach Baeira. His first season really put us out there on the map. They were, I think they were the defending state champs the year before, something like that. So that was a huge win that really brought all of us together.
Nice. How about you, Joey?
Probably the same as Tyler. The game on 9/11. It was also Ramsey Day. The atmosphere was just crazy. Probably something I'll never forget.
And Danny?
Probably the first game of the season, which our student section, and we were away at Westwood, and our student section was packed, and all of our families were there, and our friends that go to our school. So it was just a great feeling to see all the people at an away game.
Nice. How about you, Coach?
Well, me?
Yeah.
I would say our first game last year at Point Pleasant, at Point Borough. It was my first game. I was pretty nervous. So, it was a Tuesday night in October, down the shore during the middle of a pandemic. I'll probably never forget that game. So it was middle of October, when we opened up. So definitely the Point Borough game last year, that first game.
Nice.
Okay, we got Preston Lawler saying, "Are you kidding me?" I guess he's saying that's one of your lines, Coach.
Yeah.
Kenny Kirkpatrick saying, "Great job, Ramsey. Best of luck, guys," and Coach Bear. All right, mine's an easy one. Again, you started off.
Sure.
Favorite NFL football team?
All right. Well, quick. Robbie?
Packers.
Tyler?
Seahawks.
Justin?
Cowboys. I got the shirt on too.
Oh,
Right
there you go. Joey?
I'm stuck between the Bucks and the Giants.
And Danny?
I'm a Rams fan.
Ooh, we're all over.
Yeah,
the
we're doing good this year.
Oh, yeah. No one's talking about it to him after that
true.
performance Sunday.
And Coach, round us off on that.
It used to be the Giants. I'm a big Dolphins fan. One of my best friends, Anthony Campanelli's a linebackers coach down here, so I got to root for him. So.
Nice. Very nice. All right, our final rapid fire is a little superlative. So I'm going to throw out best dressed of our 5 captains that we have on here. So Robbie, of you 5, who's the best dressed?
It's easily me. If they say anything else, they're wrong.
Let's see if your teammates agree. Tyler?
It would be Robbie.
Justin?
I think Robbie, but I think I can give a run for his money. So.
Joey?
It's Robbie.
And Danny?
Yeah, it's Robbie.
Coach, you agree?
I don't see these guys.
I was going to say, you probably only see them in their practice clothes, right?
Those guys, so.
Too funny. All right, my next one.
Definitely not me. So.
All right, my next one is best dancer. Robbie, best dancer on the group here.
It's probably Larson.
Tyler,
yeah.
Justin,
Yeah, probably Tyler.
Joey,
Gotta go with Tyler.
and Danny.
Yeah, Tyler.
Coach, do you know this one?
Yeah.
All right, and my
Congratulations, Tom.
You should showcase it at the next practice, Tyler. All right, my last
Just
one.
don't do it during the game. You get a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, no celebrations. My last one for us. Who's most likely to have 1 million followers on social media?
Well, I would say Joey Hunt. He'd probably, I don't know why. I just feel like it's him.
Tyler?
I'd probably say Justin. I don't really know why. I just see him with a fan base.
Justin?
Probably say Danny. I don't know. He just always wins at like everything we ever do. It's like a backyard game, for Danny.
And Joey?
I'm going to go with Rob. I expect him to do some pretty good things at the next level, so I think that might create a huge fan base around him.
Nice. And Danny?
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. I think, or whoever said Joey, he'd do something on the internet that make people laugh.
And Coach, who's your pick on that one?
I'm going to go with none of the above. The guy, the answer to the question, the guy's he's not on here. It's Matt Weir. He's a fan favorite. Matty Weir.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Like Kurt said before, we know, you have practice, you're breaking down film, you're a student athlete, so we appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. It was a pleasure to have you on, and we really wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. We'll follow up with you guys. Coach Baeira, again, thank you so much for always getting back to us. We really do appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job over there, and you're the first game we're going to make in our official picks in a second.
A
So
couple minutes, yep.
keep tuning on to the show because it's the Ramsey Ridgefield Park game coming up. So, but no, seriously, guys, you done a great job, Coach. Thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it.
No, you got it. Thanks for having us. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Okay. So there's the Ramsey football guys.
Best of luck to them. They're off to a great start.
Yep.
Let's get Antonio.
Yeah, we
back
feel
in. There he is. All right. Hello, Antonio joins us as as a player last year. This year as like
it's a whole different animal
exactly.
now. Now the pressure's on him. There was no pressure last year. Now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
How you doing, Antonio?
It's
How's
a lot more
everything
intense.
going?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on again.
No
Excited.
problem.
No,
You're
absolutely.
Just to let our audience know, Antonio is a graduate of Passaic Valley High School, where he was football and track athlete, and now currently at Albright. Correct? Is it university or college? I didn't want to get it wrong.
Albright College.
Albright College, and part of the track team there. Correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Are you in off-season training right now?
We actually start official preseason workouts, like training and stuff. I don't want to get in trouble with the NCAA. I think like the first week of October, second week of October. I don't want to say the wrong date, but somewhere along those lines.
Got it. Awesome. Well, best of luck to you.
Well, before we
Pleased
get to official picks, I think we have to go over last week's standings and
that's right,
explain
that's
to
right.
Antonio what pressure's on him, because this is close. This is close.
I did my homework. Listen, I have notes. I'm ready to go.
Good.
We
Good.
knew you would.
ready
No, you
to
do
go.
not disappoint. So our guest picker, is a cumulative score, right? So you are our sixth one, right? Because it's week 5, but we had a week 0
Yes.
in there, right? So right now, you have the scores up.
I have the standings up.
So our friend in Maryland, Mr. As you can see, it's close. We
Close.
got
It's, I mean-
54 and 23. We've done a ton of games, Antonio. 54 and 23. Kurt and I are tied for second at 53 and 24, so separated by 1 game. Our guest picker, who started off strong, our guest pickers have slid a little bit down. They're tied for last place with our friend Mr. John Beelan at 52 and 25. So it's really just two games
out of
separating. Yeah, so it's tight. It's tight.
Hopefully, I can move us up in the rankings.
There
Let's
you
go.
go. There you go.
Beelan saying he had a monster week last week. He did.
He did. Actually, just to piggyback off of that, I'll give you what happened last week really quickly. He did have a monster week. He came in at 15 and 6. He topped the board at 15 and 6. The guest picker and Kenny were at 14 and 7. I was at 13 and 8. And Mr. Beelan, I'm glad you brought it up because Kurt didn't want to talk about the week's results because he came in last at 11 and 10.
Yep. But I'm ready. I got my homework too. Mr. Bargiel. I got my homework too, baby. Let's go.
All right, Antonio, we always let our guest picker go first. So our first matchup is 4-0 Ramsey at 3-1 Ridgefield Park. Who do you have?
I'm taking Ramsey. We scrimmaged them last year at Passaic Valley, and they are a great program, from top to bottom. They're coached extremely well. They're very disciplined, and that Coach Baeira, he knows how to run his program. So definitely taking Ramsey.
All right. I have Ramsey also. Mr. Beelan has Ramsey. Mr. Kirkpatrick likes to predict scores, Antonio, so you're going to hear his scores as well. He has Ramsey stays unbeaten, 28-14 he's got them at. So far we're all in on Ramsey.
I'm going to go shootout early, like a little high scoring with, some big passing plays. But I'm going to go with, you ready for this, Antonio? Ramsey's ground game late. They run the ball with the big boys up front that we just had on. And then I think, because what's going to happen, if Ramsey wins, Jen and I, for Saturday college football, are going to go pick up some Kinchley's pizza. So we get our
Yeah, I might have to try that.
Yeah.
Try it. I'm going 35-20 Ramsey.
All right. Our next game is 2-1 Glen Rock at 2-1 Hawthorne. Who you have, Antonio?
I got Glen Rock just coming off a win against Pompton Lakes last week. Another good program in New Jersey. So, Glen Rock over Hawthorne.
I agree with you, Antonio. I'm also going Glen Rock. Our friend Mr. Beelan is picking Hawthorne. And
so Hoops is going
Glen
Rock. Okay.
Yep. And John Beelan has picked Hawthorne. And then Kenny's picking Glen Rock 27-21. And he's saying Glen Rock in a huge upset. You think that's that much of an upset?
I don't know if it's an upset. What's upset is I'm going to pick in the same thing as Beelan, because me and Beelan were both on Dallas last night and Dak, and we're on this one together. You know why? That Becton victory still impresses me, beating Becton opening day. So I'm going to say the Bears pull it out. I'm going to go 20-14 Hawthorne over Glen Rock.
All right. Nice. All right, moving on. Our next one is 2-2 Woodridge, another good friend of our program there, Coach Catrona, at 1-3 Butler.
Going Woodridge there. Being from Passaic Valley, we don't play actually either of these teams very often. But got a couple buddies that go to Woodridge, and I got them over Butler.
Nice. Myself, I am picking Woodridge as well. I think they're going to bounce back. They picked up a last minute game last week to take the place of something else. Give them a lot of credit, but I think it's going to teach them do well. I think they're going to bounce back against Butler. Mr. Beelan is picking picking Woodridge as well. Kenny says Woodridge back to its winning ways, and he's got them 21-6 over Butler.
I got Coach Catrona and boys back on track. I'm going to go 21-13 Woodridge. So it's a Woodridge sweep.
It is. All right. Our next matchup is 3-1 Becton at 1-2 Cresskill.
Becton's gonna win another game, 4-1. They're gonna stay on that roll that they're on right now, and Becton's moving to 4-1 this week.
We all last, I think it's been 2 weeks,
ago,
we said we're not going to go against Becton again.
No.
1 week we all went against them, ironically. But Antonio, I'm with you. I have Becton as well. John Beelan has Becton. Kenny's saying Becton all the way by a score of 28-7.
And my comment is, don't ask me about Becton until October 15th until they play Heights again. Then we'll talk. But I think Becton's D's dominates, and I'm going to say 27-6.
All right, our next matchup, our first guest, Ray Lucas team, 1-1 Harrison travels to 2-2 Elmwood Park.
Can never bet against Coach Ray. Harrison's winning that one. Shout out to Coach Ray. I think he's really going to do well in Harrison. But yeah, Harrison over Elmwood Park.
Now, I just want to switch something to tell you, because I got when I get a text during the show, It's important. And it's Mr. Beelan that's saying, changing my Elmwood Park pick to Harrison tonight. Make sure that gets switched up.
I got it right here.
I just want you to know.
I'm going to guess that our guest had a little something to do with that.
He did.
I meant to say this when he was on. I meant to say it. I would love to play for him. Yeah, that's all. Would love to play for him. All right, so we got Antonio with Harrison. I'm picking Harrison. Late last minute switch, Mr. Beelan, we got it in, switching to Harrison. And Kenny is picking Harrison 14-7. His prediction is they will win it late in the second half.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was almost going to do a Beelan and switch it. But I don't want to do that. I you know what? The paper says 20-14. I'm going to go Elmwood Park. Coach Mulligan versus Coach Lucas, and the Bombers versus the Blue Tide. So I'm going to stick with it, but I'm not going to lie. He had me thinking switching too.
Again, and that's great for that program. I mean, think about just being exposed to like his coaching every day. He had us fired up in an interview.
Absolutely. By the way, Dina Bargiel, I agree, Jen. I'd love to play for A too. He fired everybody up. He did.
I was watching. I was like, God, I wish 365 days ago. I heard a little bit of Coach Ray. You know what I mean?
That's it.
All right, our next matchup is 4-0 Wallington at 3-0 Park Ridge.
A little shout out to my good buddy Coach DeSalvo at Park Ridge over Wallington.
Nice, very nice. I have Park Ridge as well. Mr. Beelan is Park Ridge, so far we're all Park Ridge. And Kenny as well, saying Park Ridge pulls away in the fourth quarter, and he's got a final score of 35-21. It's on you, Mr. Valenti.
I'm going to just ask, is Wallington for real? Kenny's saying I'm going to be in the basement next week. No. But my notes, how for real is Wallington, But here's the thing, and we said this last week. You know how hard it is to go into Heights on a Friday night and beat Heights? But you know who did? Park Ridge. So I'm going to say Park. And you know what? That's how could that not be good enough? They won at Heights. I think Park Ridge is basically, they're going to make a statement that says, they are a real deal come playoff time. I got 31-20 Park Ridge.
All right, nice.
So it's a sweep of the board for Park Ridge.
It is a sweep of the board for Park Ridge. All right, our next matchup, Antonio, 0-1 St. Mary's at 0-4 North Arlington. Someone's going to get their first win.
By the way, I got to break some news before. Good friend, Coach Paulie Johnson, coached with him. He was a absolute stud at St. Mary's, playing there. He is now the new head football coach at St. Mary's. They just made that move as of Friday, so he is now taken over. So I want to wish Coach Johnson good luck.
Yep.
And just so everybody knows, there will be just a coaching change. Coach Johnson will be on the sideline Friday night.
All right, Antonio, who do you got in this matchup?
I think North Arlington's going to right the ship after a tough loss. I get expected. They're a great program, but I think North Arlington over St. Mary's.
I agree with you. I have North Arlington as well. I think St. Mary's is going to get back on track. I know we've had the coaching change. They've got some injuries, and I think once Coach Johnson's there, he'll get them back on track. But this week, I think it's a little early, so I'm going to pick North Arlington as well. Mr. Beelan has St. Mary's. And Mr. Kirkpatrick has picked St. Mary's as well, 14-6. He said St. Mary's gets their first win of the season.
And my notes just say Coach Johnson again takes over as head coach. Good luck. But a year from now, Hoops, like you said it, watch out for the Gales. I think Coach Johnson's going to get them right in a big way. So I'm going Coach Johnson wins his debut. I'm going to go 27-14 the Gales.
All right, you and me have North Arlington. Antonio, let's go. Just kidding. I love St. Mary's, so it's hard. It's always hard to make these picks. All right, next matchup is 3-0 Lyndhurst at 2-1 Waldwick.
Lyndhurst, every game so far this year, they've won by a pretty decent margin. So I think Lyndhurst continues, and they remain undefeated.
Alrighty, Mr. Beelan is picking Lyndhurst as well. I'm going with Waldwick on this one. This was a tough one for me. I'm going with the edge.
I'm sorry, Beelan's going Lyndhurst.
Lyndhurst as well, and I'm going Waldwick. I'm going. My decision was honestly home field on this one. Kind of made me was the toss up there.
That does matter. That does. Yeah. Whoever says that does not matter, they're lying. That does matter. Trust me.
Kenny is picking Lyndhurst in a close one, 28-26. And he says Lyndhurst. I love his detail. Lyndhurst blocks 2 extra points and wins late.
Hey.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
I am going to say we're going to really find out this week how good Lyndhurst is. You know, they put up, like Antonio said, a lot of points, big scores, and I think Lyndhurst is really good. But I just think Waldwick, off of a tough loss to Rutherford, I just think they're going to be a little better. I hate going against Coach Twirl, Coach Castanetti, Coach Altieri.
Of course.
And hopefully they make me wrong. But for my pick, I'm going to go high scoring. I'm going to go 33-27. I'm going to take Waldwick over Lyndhurst.
I'm just going to throw this out there. It is very rare that you and I are the only two who have picked a team. I feel like that never happens. All right. Our next one is 3-1 Pascack Valley at 3-1 Riverdale.
I'm taking Riverdale. I remember playing them when I was younger. They're from, bringing kids along all through high school. They have some stellar athletes in Riverdale. Stellar athletes. So Riverdale over Pascack Valley.
I'm with you, Antonio. I have Riverdale as well. So does Mr. Beelan. Kenny is saying that hometown Riverdale prevails at 20-14 is his predicted score.
Yeah, I'm going to sweep the board with you guys. I'm going to go 27-20 Riverdale, and I think Riverdale, after a loss to West Essex, they make it 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I got to tell you, Antonio's so prepared tonight.
Oh,
he's ready to go.
We
He's
had
got
no
the
doubt.
notes.
Absolutely.
I don't play around.
I know. I love it. And by the way, Antonio, we started with like 6 games last year, 8 games, 10 games. We're up to 25 games we're picking.
Wait, I gotta tell you,
That's how it
Antonio.
should be.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
I feel like
Come on.
we talked during the day, and he's like, I have 20. He's like, doesn't want to tell me. He's like,
25.
I have
We're up to
25
25.
games.
We're going out of state. We got everything going.
It's great. It's great.
All right, our next one is 4-0 Clifton at 3-1 PCTI.
This I think this is going to be one of the better games on the lineup tonight. Clifton over PCTI. They're another great program. From top to bottom, great coaches. I placed them more in track than football, but still, Clifton over Tech in a pretty close game though.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a close one as well. I have the edge to Clifton. Always hard when we choose between teams that we've had guests on the show,
Or you flip a coin.
I know, it's hard. You don't want to see either team lose. You wish them both success, of course, but I'm giving Clifton the slight edge as well. Mr. Beelan is picking Clifton, and Kenny has Clifton winning, says they're going to make a statement in this game, and that they're going to win 35-13.
My notes are Velis, Feliciano, and remember we watched them versus Hackensack, Mr. Swayze, making big plays. So I just think too much firepower, but I agree with Antonio. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go 42-26, but I think early on this game is going to be very close, high scoring.
All right, our next one is 1-3 Old Tapan at 4-0 Ramapo.
Ramapo, another tough team to almost bet against in New Jersey. Old Tapan kind of seems like a down year this year, but Ramapo over Old Tapan.
All right, I agree. Ramapo, Mr. Beelan, Ramapo. Kenny's comment is Ramapo has too much firepower for Old Tapan. So similar to what you were saying, Antonio. They never rebuild; they just reload, right?
Yeah, and I think they're gonna.
He's got a score of 34-6.
Yeah, I think Antonio Ramapo put up 3 games in a row, 40 points. I think they're going to do it again. So I'm going to go 41-14 with Coach Gibbs, Coach Breslin, and the boys. So I'll go 41-14 Ramapo.
All right, our next one is, a premier matchup in the state of New Jersey. We've got 5-0 St. Peter's Prep. Don't be fooled by the Bosco record of 1-3, but at 1-3 Don Bosco. Who do you have, Antonio?
Another shout out to another good person I know, St. Peter's Prep coach Johnson. They've beat up not so strong teams, and they've found ways to win against strong teams. So St. Peter's stays undefeated against Don Bosco.
I agree with you there as well, Antonio. I think they're going to stay undefeated. Mr. Beelan is choosing St. Peter's Prep as well. Our friend from Maryland, a New Jersey born and bred, but living in Maryland now, is picking this as the upset of the year, and he's got Bosco. How about you?
Well, how about this, Antonio? Imagine playing last week. If you're Don Bosco, you have to play the number 1 team in the state. Now you got to play the number 2 team in the state back to back. I mean, I don't know. I
It's
just
the
think
perks of Jersey football.
that's it. John,
You know what I mean?
Beelan saying Bosco is donezo. That record isn't lying. Oh, Beelan's throwing shade there. I'm going to go, but I just think St. Peter's, you know, I don't think it's going to be close. Great game with DePaul last week. Unbelievable game. Some people say they got lucky, but our boy Nico Duarte kicked the field goal to get it up. I'm going to go 24-7 St. Peter's over Bosco.
All right. Our next game is 3-1 Morris Catholic at 2-1 Hanover Park.
I'm taking Morris Catholic over Hanover Park. You know, they're one possession away from being 4-0, coming off a tough Verona game. Morris Catholic over Hanover Park.
All right, I agree with you there. That was a tough one for them. I have Morris Catholic as well. Mr. Beelan is picking Morris Catholic. Kenny's comment is Morris Catholic is back on winning track with a 21-14 victory over Hanover Park.
Kenny's saying this is how he stays on top of the standings, by taking the upsets. Mine is going to be another shootout. This is like the Big 12, Antonio, in football. I mean, it's just Hanover Park scores 40 a game. Morris Catholic scores 40 a game. Verona, who they played, scores like 50 a game. So it's like the Big 12. So I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to go 38-35 with my boys, Morris Catholic.
All right. Our next one, another two top-notch programs in the state of New Jersey. We've got 3-1 Del Barton traveling to play at 3-1 DePaul, who, as Kurt mentioned, had that great game against St. Peter's last week.
I'm taking DePaul over Del Barton, but because of their defense, DePaul's defense is something that people really need to take notice of. You know, you can throw away all the D1 offers and D1 commits that they have on their defense. When they play together, DePaul's defense is very hard to score against. Yeah. So DePaul over Del Barton.
All right. You talk about the physicality all the time, right?
You know what? I don't go next, but I'm going to go next because this guy's smart. You know, I want you to read my notes so he doesn't read my notes.
Try to read the chicken scratch, Antonio. Give me a second. Oh, my God. Game of the week. DePaul defense is special. I can't read what that
Two
says.
good teams, but it's DePaul's defense. They are legit.
Yep. He does. You talk about that all the time. We had Coach Campanelli on.
Yeah,
last
but I mean,
right?
think about this, Antonio. They gave up. St. Peter's really didn't score any touchdowns on them. They scored on a blocked field goal. So technically, I think 3 weeks in a row they haven't given up a touchdown
against the top teams.
So I'm going 17-13 DePaul.
All right, I'm picking DePaul as well. Mr. Beelan is picking Del Barton.
Yeah, and he said Beelan's comment is Antonio. No.
Now, should I tell a little story about Kenny's pick? Or
yeah,
just
before I get to that, Kenny's also saying since Antonio's doing such a great job, he's going to invite you as an NFL picker on Kenny. Kenny's all over.
Listen, I was not so sure about coming on after Jets Broncos last week. You know, I was very nervous.
I've been
good,
waiting
for it.
I've been good.
I know. I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting. We're not done yet.
We're not done yet, Antonio. We're not done yet.
Too funny. So, Kurt gets Kenny's picks during the day, and he's got a sheet, and I'm looking at them, and I said, "Am I reading this correctly? Did Kenny not pick last year, Antonio? Kenny adopted Del Barton as his team. He picked them every week. You know, they had some big wins, and Kenny had them every week. We had the coaches on. They were saying that, he wanted to meet them, So then I look at this, and he didn't pick Del Barton. Ironically...
So Jen was going to call him out. Call him out on him. She was, Antonio.
He was making that part up.
She was all over him.
But ironically, while we're prepping for the show, Kenny calls and says... I want to switch my pick. So he did stick to his favorite team, and he says he's going to stick with his adopted team, and he's got Del Barton 15-14 over
You took DePaul, correct?
I did. Yep,
okay.
I took DePaul, Antonio, yourself, and Mr. Beelan and Kenny have Del Barton. So we're split.
That's perfect. Antonio, anytime Beelan and Kenny go together, it's a lock. It's good because those two guys together never win. Never.
All right.
So I feel confident. Just chart that one up as a win for us.
Our next one is 2-2 Paramus at 3-1 Montville.
I think I would be doing my pick and a disservice by not picking at least one upset. So here's my upset: Paramus over Montville this week.
All right. I am picking Montville. You know, I bleed red and black at West Essex. I also bleed on the other side, green and white for Montville. So I'm picking Montville. I think they rebound after their loss to Chatham last week. Mr. Beelan is picking Montville. Mr. Kirkpatrick is picking Montville, saying Montville and hoops all the way. Thank you, Kenny.
And I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go 32-27 Montville, again, in another high-scoring game. They had a close loss last week. And but I think it's going to be close. So I could see Antonio with his upset come through. But I'm going to go 32-27. I will go with Montville.
All right, our next one is 2-2 Wayne Hills at 3-1 Irvington.
I'm very, very familiar with Wayne Hills and Coach Semikoff and how they operate. Their 2 losses this year come from a strong Ridgewood team, and then the team in Missouri that they played in their 0 week or week 1 week, or pretty sure it was week 0. But I have Wayne Hills over Irvington.
All right. This was another tough one for me because everything you said, Antonio, I agree with 100%. Again, also the, just the rich tradition of football in that program, right? Mm-hmm. We had the AD, John Taylor, on a couple weeks or last week as well. And I feel like they, after that opening week loss, that anomaly in Mount Olive, I think they've bounced back, and I think they're going to continue on. So I'm gonna pick Irvington, also at home. So I'm going to pick Irvington. Sometimes when I'm torn, I go with that home team. So I'm going to go Irvington. Mr. Beelan is going Irvington. Mr. Kirkpatrick has a low-scoring game here. He says Irvington wins on last drive heroics, and he's got the winning 14-13.
Okay, by the way, Antonio, we watched the Ridgewood Wayne Hills game, and I really think Wayne Hills should have won that game. They had a touchdown called back at the end of the game.
That's right.
Missed the field goal, but now they have to face this defense. And you know what, Jen? What do we always say?
Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championship. And just like you said, that's a special D.
That is the truth.
At DePaul, Antonio, Irvington's got a special D too. So I'm going to say 13-6 for Dr. John Taylor and Irvington.
Alrighty, we're moving on to our last row here, our last column. Or we've got 2-1 Glen Ridge at 3-0 Fort Lee.
I'm taking Fort Lee. My buddy that I go to school with here, he bleeds Fort Lee. So I gotta pick Fort Lee, or else I will never be talked to again. So Fort Lee.
By the way, Dina said that's right, and I think she's saying maybe the defense wins championship.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, I am going with Glen Ridge on this one. I got to be honest. I'm being a little bit of an Essex County homer on this one. Not going to lie. 2 small schools, and I'm just kind of giving the edge on my Essex County, growing up there.
Yep, she's saying defense.
Mr. Beelan is picking Fort Lee. Kenny is picking Fort Lee, 27-21. He says that they're going to stay undefeated. And who do you have?
You know what? Hoops, I'm with you. Ooh. I'm going to go Glen Ridge. I just think they played a tougher schedule, so I'm going to take Glen Ridge. I got 27-14, little upset, Glen Ridge over Fort Lee.
All right, and for those of you who watch, this game I feel like was to appease the Essex County Jenny Hoops. We have 3-0 Caldwell at 2-1 Verona. It's an Essex County matchup.
You
asked, rare Essex County matchup.
Didn't you ask? And you got,
Thank
you
you.
asked.
Thank you for the one game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Verona's games are a little too close for me to pick them all the way. So I'll take Caldwell over Verona.
I'm going to go next because you know why? Smart man, but Dina's really going to like this. You know why? Verona scores a ton. They seriously average like 40-something points a game, but Caldwell doesn't give up points. So you got offense versus defense. And you know where I'm going? I'm going defense wins out. Caldwell 21-14.
All right, well, Mr. Beelan, myself, and Mr. Kirkpatrick all have Verona. Kenny's saying Verona in a shootout. So you guys, we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Let's see, defense.
Yeah, and he's got 33-27.
Defense, baby, all day long.
All right, our next matchup is 0-4 Lodi at 0-3 Garfield.
Two teams, like I've said before, that don't really know much about, being from Passaic Valley. But I think Garfield rights the ship here against Lodi. Both teams, fighting for their first win, but we're taking Garfield over Lodi.
I agree with you, Antonio. I think Garfield's hungry. Both teams hungry for that first win. This is a big rivalry, right?
Yeah, huge rivalry.
So I just feel like, They're both hungry for that first win. Garfield, now, again, at home, in front of their home crowd. I think that's going to get them going. So I've got Garfield. Mr. Beelan has Garfield. Kenny's got Garfield 13-12. He says Garfield wins the battle of Outwater Lane.
And I'm going to, hey, someone's got to win this game, right? I think high-scoring affair, but I'm going to go with our guy, Coach Santa Croce.
Mr. Santa
I'm going to go with
Croce.
Pete, 34-28. I'm going to go Garfield over Lodi.
Good. Hope he gets that first win for the season here. All right, Antonio, our next one, 2-2 Montclair at 2-2 St. Joe's of Montvale.
I think St. Joe's gets back on the winning track. A loss to DePaul's great defense. They gained their confidence back facing Pope John last week, but St. Joe's Montvale gets their third win of the year.
I agree. I have St. Joe's as well. Mr. Beelan, St. Joe's. Mr. Kirkpatrick's picking St. Joe's by a score of 35-14. So far that's all St. Joe's. And you?
I just think St. Joe's starts their run like Antonio said. No shame in losing to DePaul.
Right.
But here comes St. Joe's the rest of the way. So I will go 31-13, and I think that's a sweep for St. Joe's with the panel.
All right. Winding them down, 3-1 Lakeland at 1-3 PV. Antonio.
Who here went to PV?
I can guarantee you, Coach Wassel has prepped these guys for this week. Lakeland week, it goes without saying. You need to beat Lakeland. That goes up there with the Wayne Valley rivalry, with everything else. You need to beat Lakeland, no matter what has happened, prior weeks, anything. When you play Lakeland, it's business. From whistle to whistle, it's business. So, of course, taking my Hornets against anybody. But for this week, it's Lakeland.
Nice. All right, I hate to do this, Antonio. I'm going Lakeland. This was hard for me. For me. Knowing you're my guest, invited you on. I'm picking Lakeland on this one. Mr. Beelan is picking Lakeland. Kenny has PV by a score of 20-14, and he says that Valley pulls
Always
off.
liked him.
Saying Valley's pulling off the upset. How about you?
Me, PV, I think is going to be rocking. That place is going to be rocking. I didn't even know, Antonio.
I'm coming home for this game. I'm coming home.
Nice.
I didn't even know that you said this place is like this big of a rivalry,
I
too.
didn't know that either. I have to be honest. Yeah.
Yes.
Jill Spinelli saying go Hornets. So I'm going to say, here's a couple things. PV's going to be rocking. Antonio's not only on the panel, he's going to be in attendance.
I wish I'd known some of these beforehand.
Lakeland has this really good back. But Antonio, the word again is defense. And PV's defense is going to do it. 21-20. Don't listen to what she says. PV all night, Antonio. PV all night, baby.
I like it. I like it.
Joseph Spinelli saying, please, green and white, sting him, Hornets.
All right, our next game is 2-2 Hackensack at 4-0 Northern Highlands.
Northern Highlands, another top program in New Jersey, and they've been for a while. Definitely Northern Highlands over Hackensack this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're kind of rolling right now. I feel like they're going to be hard to beat, especially at home. I have Northern Highlands. Mr. Beelan, Northern Highlands. Mr. Kirkpatrick is picking Northern Highlands 27-14. He says Highlands looking like strong playoff contender is his comment.
Yeah, and Hackensack's a tough team. We watched them versus Clifton. They're always playing these low defensive games. Highland just won one of our games of the week last week by beating Eastside in one of those games. Mm-hmm. So Highland showed that they could win a physical battle, and I think they do it again. 28-12. I'm going to go Highlands.
All right. Our next matchup, 3-1 West Essex at 4-0 Morris Knowles.
West Essex is near and dear to the Bargiel family. A lot of friends that my mom has taught that end up going to West Essex. So of course I'm taking West Essex over Morris Knowles.
Nice. I agree. I have West Essex as well. Mr. Beelan is picking Morris Knowles. Mr. Kirkpatrick's comment is hoops, hoops, hoops. Thank you, Kenny, for the support. He's got West Essex 28-20 over Morris Knowles.
And Beelan, just like we were on the Cowboys, we were on another game before. I don't know what game that was, but me and Beelan are together again. Morris Knowles puts up 30 points. They put up 30 each game this year in a tough schedule. And again, my question is, can West Essex get there? I'm going to say no. I'm going to go Morris Knowles 27, West Essex 21. Sorry, Hoops. I got to go
Okay.
against you.
You can pick whoever
I'm
you
going Morris Knowles.
All right. And Antonio, you might have been a little shocked by this next game, but we have adopted a Maryland team at Huntingtown, and our good friend Kenny down in Maryland. It's a team in his area who's very talented, so we put them on our slate each week as well. So we have 4-0 Huntingtown of Maryland at 2-1 St. Charles, also of Maryland.
I had to do a little bit of research on this one, a little bit more, but Huntingtown definitely stays undefeated. I can't see St. Charles beating them this week.
Agreed. I have Huntingtown as well. Mr. Beelan has Huntingtown. Kenny's comment is that Huntingtown will win with a strong second half, 21-14. And Kurt?
I think Huntingtown stays perfect, just like Antonio said. I can't see them losing. I'll go 21-6 Huntingtown.
All right. And our last one is a special game that Kurt put on here. It is a national game, not two nationally ranked teams. The irony is these teams are both in California and only separated by about 20 miles. So it's number 1 in the country, Mater Dei of, is it Santa Anita, California?
Yes.
At number 3, don't get confused, it's not Don Bosco, it's St. John Bosco of Bellflower, California. So Antonio, who do you have here?
I think Mater Dei is number 1 for a reason. They've played stronger teams in St. John Bosco, and they're going to stay undefeated, given St. John Bosco their first loss of the season.
All right. I agree with you. I think they're number 1 for a reason. It's interesting just doing a little research today, like how the game, 6,000 tickets sold out in 4 minutes. I mean, it's like insane. This game, can you imagine at the high school level, like having the hype for this game? So I'm picking Mater Dei. Mr. Beelan's picking Mater Dei. And Kenny's going with another upset. He's got
Beelan's going, I'm sorry, so Beelan's going Mater Dei.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kenny's going with St. John Bosco. He says they become the new number 1.
Oh, I so want to do this with Kenny. I really do, but I'm not going to. I like how Antonio said they're number 1 for a reason. They have played tougher games. I'm going to go, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm going to go 27. I'm going to go 27-21, but I'm with you guys. I'm going to go Mater Dei to beat St. John Bosco.
All right, there we
I
have
think
it.
Mater Dei to beat the Jets right now. I'm not going to lie. I would take them over the Jets.
Hey, you mentioned it.
I think that'd be a close game. I think that'd be a close game.
And my only comment, I'm not going to get into the Jets tonight. I'm just going to say this. Who has the number 1 scoring defense in football? Only 8 points per game? It's those Denver Broncos. Who's the number 1? Who's the number 3 team in the NFL with yards defensively? It's the Denver Broncos. And who's the number 1?
This connection's really going.
Who's the number 1 rated quarterback in
Antonio's
football?
going to be like, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
And you know what, Antonio? I'm just going to say this, and we'll get into this more tomorrow night, but we're going to put on a clinic against Lamar Jackson on Sunday.
We'll see.
And show we're
We'll
for
see.
real, baby.
Antonio, thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure to have you. Best of luck to you. I know you're going to do great things in college. We'll be following your track career as well.
And he's going to be back on as a picker.
Absolutely. I'm always checking in on you with your mom when I am fortunate enough to. I've seen you actually more this year than I've seen your mom. We're in 2 different buildings. But I'm always checking in on you to see how you're doing. So it was such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight.
Thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure always.
Thank you, Antonio. You did an awesome job. And like Kenny's saying, you can come on anytime you want to do NFL picks. But high school picks, you will definitely be back. Just wait till you see our playoff show, what we got
you
planned.
got to tune in next week to see
I'm excited.
how you did.
That's it.
I will, most definitely.
Go PV, baby. Go PV.
Of course. Go Hornets.
Let's go.
Have a good night, Antonio. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
He did an awesome job.
Awesome job.
Yep,
and
so prepared. No, not that we ever thought he wouldn't. That's why we wanted him.
But 2 more comments for AT. Sorry, hold on. I forgot to get these in. Let's go. Let's go. AT from a
Charlie
Vunick. Joseph Spinelli, great job, AT. Dina saying you guys are awesome. No, this was great. He was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Did the homework.
Absolutely.
You know what's great when we get the guest pick? It's like they got her. They got to perform. Because
Oh,
everybody before him does a great job.
Everybody's a little competitive, Everybody wants to do well. So
that's it.
So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And we will see you.
Jill saying the thrill to see my grandson on TV.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching.
Great job. And again, one more time, rest in peace, Coach H.
Yes.
Again, the high school community, the high school sport, high school sports in Jersey lost an icon.
Well, he left a lasting legacy for sure with his accomplishments and the number of players' lives that he touched.
Absolutely. So, Coach H, while you're up there, hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And there's a Leo Birch saying go PV.
Nice.
But no, Coach H, hope you enjoyed the show up there. We'll get to see you again something soon. And we will see you Friday night with
our recap show.
our recap